on Saturday, at the height of a pandemic, there are 3,000 people who are planning a protest, a refugee protest, where effectively the Story Bridge, one of the main transport arteries in and out of Brisbane, will be closed. Police are sort of negotiating with them at the moment to try and have them abandon that particular protest. The Premier seems, I don't know, she seems powerless to do anything. There's no application before the courts. This is madness.
It is madness, Gleeson, and I think there's been some shift today. By the end of the day, the police are saying, and the government is saying, we'll do everything we can to stop this protest. But look at what they were saying a little bit earlier this morning. All they could say, we'll urge people not to attend this protest. As you say, on the Story Bridge, that is going to cause traffic chaos in Brisbane during that protest on Saturday. All they could do was say they'd urge people not to attend. Well, look, all those urgings are not going to stop one of those potentially 3,000 protesters turning up. And those 3,000 protesters turning up during a pandemic, you can see what the disaster potentially that could mean. Surely the government could do better than urging protesters not to turn up. You do wonder if it's all to do with the October 31 election. Are they worried about potentially losing Green preference votes come 90 days or so, and that's why they're doing it so softly regarding these protesters?
Yeah. Liz, Scott's hit the nail on the head there. They're worried about the political implications. What a cop-out. What a cop-out. 3,000 people. Can you imagine if there's a cluster, some sort of escalation directly related to this, as we saw with some of the protests 6 weeks ago?
Yeah, well, that was my immediate question upon seeing this story today, Gleeson, was where was these guys' same concern when 30,000 marched through Brisbane under the banner of Black Lives Matter? Is it any wonder now that weeks later these guys think they're well entitled to do the same thing, protesting their precious cause? You know, when you allow that kind of thing, you send a signal. And that's exactly what's happened here. But once again, it's also just another example of these lefties with their causes thinking they're above the law. Even if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, which we are, you don't get to shut down a main bridge in any city in Australia, thank you very much. It doesn't matter what your cause is, you shouldn't be allowed. And so I would encourage the Queensland Police to take a note out of New South Wales Police's book, because last Tuesday we saw the last Black Lives Matter rally shut down within minutes as the riot squad landed and said, you either disperse or we're taking you to jail. And they dispersed and they took the rest to jail. It was a beautiful thing, but finally the lefties were forced to obey by the same rules that mainstream Australians have to, not just during a pandemic in this case, but just being good upstanding citizens in any city in Australia.